Hello, if you are new, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you'll enjoy what's here today. If you don't find what you're looking for, I hope you find it out there somewhere. Let's face it, there's a lot of readers out there these days. If you are coming back, welcome back. Happy to have you. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Gemini for the month of May of 2023. Now, Gemini, I believe Venus is still in your sign right now. It'll be there for a little bit before it retrogrades or goes into Leo and retrogrades and slows down. Trying to think if you guys have anything significant going on. You do have Saturn squaring you, so that could, prove to bring up some interesting things, especially in the realm of really working through potential anxiety. Also working through your own personal stability and what that means to you, but I do think it's going to be reflective of a lot more inner work than it is external, although all of them matter and they do affect the other. So we're going to get started here with some astrology cards. This month for you guys, I feel like I honestly feel like it's going to be more quiet than it is busy. I mean, I do feel like there's going to be that energy kind of building up because your season's going to be coming up relatively soon here. But overall, I just feel like, first of all, Mercury being retrograde, at least until mid-May, and then we've got the shadow period. You're ruled by Mercury. You're going to be feeling it. You're going to be more in a processing mode and maybe not wanting to communicate as much. So yeah, I think it's going to be a little quiet. And it seems like thus far the cards are confirming that. Yeah, more inner exploration versus outer. So we've got the third house in reverse. We also have midheaven in reverse. You could be reworking things around life direction. And we've got the ninth house being highlighted here. So there could be a lot of rethinking around what you're doing within your career, maybe the directions you're wanting to go in or what you feel compelled or pulled or drawn to. This could be reworking your image. It could be reworking how it is that you feel about what it is that you do, wanting to reconnect to it in a different way. But I think with ninth house, there's going to be a lot of inner exploration. There could be outer as well. I kind of doubt it, but I think this is more of a marker of internal workings than it is external. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of exploration, whether it is through philosophy, through psychology. Maybe some of you are looking into those things, or you're in therapy right now, or trying to work through some feelings. So you're definitely going to be using spirituality, psychology, travel, or looking at other cultures and philosophies in order to understand yourself better. We've got know thyself in the reverse, clarifying that. We have abundance, and then we have friction. So maybe thinking about how the midheaven is in reverse, and we're talking a lot about how you are trying to understand what's going on within yourself and maybe how you connect to the world or connect to what it is that you do, or how can you connect deeper into what it is that you love. I feel like that's why a lot of this inner work is going to be impacting your outer world. Because I feel like when you feel more comfortable about who you are, what it is you represent, or what it is that you want to show to the world, being more open and authentic in that way can kind of bring these things to you that you need. But I think right now you're in that weird spot where there's a lot of friction there, or there's a lot of discomfort because you're not quite sure where you fit just yet, or you're not quite sure where you fit anymore. So in some ways, I really want to encourage you guys to look to your ascendant, because I just noticed it's on the bottom of the deck here. But our ascendant is often our driving force in the world, right? It's how people perceive us, but it is also how we show up in the world. So look to your ascendant, look to what it represents or what house it's, or well, the ascendant's always going to be between the 12th and the first house, but look into that area to see how you can embody that energy better in your life. It's going to be really important, in my opinion. So let's get started. What do I want to start with? Let's start with this deck. Let's get into it. Yeah, Page of Swords in the reverse and the Eight of Wands in reverse when I cracked open the deck. You're definitely going to be rethinking your actions, rethinking your direction, rethinking how it is you want to show up in the world. Oh, yes. There could be a lot of focus on physical surroundings here as well. Yeah, a lot of focus on physical surroundings. You've got the King of Pentacles, so you, Taurus had this as well. So you could be either connecting to a Taurus this month or connecting more to that energy in some way. Maybe connecting to someone who maybe feels a little more solid or stable, or quite literally can help you understand how to better invest in yourself in some way or take care of yourself. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, the World card, the Four of Wands, and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So, while the World card and the Four of Wands can indicate travel, with the Eight of Wands in the reverse, once again, I feel like you're going to be staying close to home. I feel like there's a lot to do around the home. I feel like there's a lot to wrap up around the home, or there is something to change up in that environment. I also feel like you really are taking stock of things. When I look at the Seven of Pentacles, it really is an energy of looking at what it is that you've cultivated in your life thus far, whether that is internal, external, or both. And really looking at what works and what doesn't, right? What is the method to the madness? And is it really cutting it? And do you need to maybe tweak the way that you're approaching particular things? So I think this is going to be more of a harvest period for you, which I find very interesting considering that your birthday season's coming up with that World card there and that Four of Wands. There actually may be a significant event coming up or a significant date marker coming up for you that is other than your birthday. It could just be your birthday, but there's a significant date here that could be taking place that has you thinking about this. So whether it's an anniversary, whether it's a birthday, whether there was a particular goal that you had in mind, I think that's why you're kind of tweaking things here or wrapping things up or really wanting to dive deeper before getting to this period or getting to this moment. Because right now there is a dead stop, right? There's kind of this resistance here where there's this feeling of really wanting to re-examine before moving forward. I think there's this energy of really wanting to be present with what is right here and right now, because there's something there. Some clarifiers on this. Yeah. Wow. Holy shit. All right, Judgment in the reverse. Very powerful card. Very powerful card. There's some stuff you're looking at, especially with the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups in reverse under that. There's definitely some stuff you're looking at. You could be looking a lot at the emotional body. You could be looking a lot at the mental body, how your perception is, how you perceive something, maybe how you perceive an emotional event, maybe how you perceive how you emotionally communicate things, maybe looking at something that has impacted you or hurt you in some way that is very deep, that is very deep-rooted, because the Five of Swords often is about maybe how we can hold that hurt and that pain very close to us and the way that we inflict it upon other people, whether we are conscious of that or not. Or you could be looking at how someone has done this to you. But under that Seven of Pentacles, we've got the Five of Pentacles reversed in the World. Once again, I really think you're taking a look at what works and what doesn't. And there also may be a part of you that's wanting to revisit a particular thing, maybe even a person, maybe even a place, in order to potentially find closure. It doesn't have to be that necessarily. But I feel like this is a thing of really wanting to see how far you've come. So for some of you, maybe that's why there's this revisitation. Maybe you're wanting to take a look at what the past looks like, right, when it's right in front of you. I mean, really, it's not the past anymore, but your memory of it or the way that you're connected to it or have been connected to it or connected to the memory of it will be present in that moment. So I feel like there is this energy of really wanting to reconnect to the past in some way, or revisit a very particular event in order to wrap things up. Because really, I think you're just looking for peace within this Temperance card, even if that's finding that peace alone. Because really, at the end of the day, that's all we can control is ourselves. So I really think you're wanting to find peace within yourself. I think you're really wanting to maybe even take these opposing feelings or these opposing circumstances or whatever it may be, and I think you're wanting to blend them together in a way that you can create this new perspective or this new perception. I think you're wanting to change what's going on inside of you so that you can change the world around you, and feel more maybe at peace with yourself and at peace with your surroundings, or at peace with your choices or your decisions or with a situation. Now, with the Four of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, I really love this because I think that things are really going to start moving, and they're going to start shifting, and they're going to start changing around your birthday. If I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of significant energy around the day of one's birth here, or around this event of time, right? This marker of time, how we mark time, and our birthday is one of those things. So I feel like this is going to be a significant experience for you. I really do think I'm going to pull more clarifiers on this, but really what I see here is I see this experience of looking at who you've been through all of these stages. And I think there's something in particular about this event, this anniversary, this birthday, that really highlights something for you of importance. It really, really does. Because after this, we've got the Ten of Swords in reverse under the Eight of Wands. So I think there's something here that you're letting go of. I think there's something here that you're finding closure in. I think there's something here that you are coming to terms with in a very big way. But you may have to revisit it in order to do that. Doesn't mean you have to actually revisit the person. For some of us, we can't, right? For some of us, the person is long gone. The person is no longer physical in this world. For others of us, that just isn't an option. But whether it's a person, a place, an experience, you're going to be revisiting and you're going to be reconnecting to something of importance here. And I think it's going to be a very interesting mirror that is going to hold something up to you. Yeah. I think you've got something new coming in your life. I really do. I think you've got something that's really standing right in front of you, and it's a new opportunity. But I really think that there's a need to revisit the past, to revisit one's choices, and to find clarity and awareness in order to let some things go. Because I think whatever truth is coming through or whatever truth is being seen, it's really cutting you free from something. And I think that's the interesting thing with Justice and with the Wheel of Fortune and with the World. I feel like those cards are very interesting cards in the tarot itself because they are so tied to time. And not just time, but how realistically so much of this is out of our control. And for the things that we can control, it's all about the choices that we make within those things. And sometimes those choices come from a place of fear. Sometimes they come from love. Sometimes they come from, having to repeat very particular patterns until we get it, because that's what I think justice is after all. I think justice is the moment that we get it, we understand it, and then the world is where we make peace with it. And because we've learned the lesson, we have this opportunity to embark on a new journey. And that's what I think is happening here. I think there's this opportunity to embark on a new journey. And I think there's this opportunity to really give of yourself to something in a very particular way that really can provide for you mentally, emotionally, physically, whether that is in your career. I do think a lot of this is tied to career. I know it sounds cheesy because I'm like, yeah, there is a lot here about relationships and love. But I think those two things are tied hand in hand for you. I really do. So just think about it, right? Just think about it. And if you don't feel that way, then you can separate these things and whatever confirmation bias you need, right? But this is really important because I think this is a very solid moment for you. And if I'm being quite honest, I think this isn't just about looking at where you were last year on your birthday to now. I think that this is about not even really understanding where you're going to be a year from that point. Like this year to next year, I do not think you're going to recognize yourself. And I think that everything that takes place from then until 2024, hoping, that you can kind of really close out this chapter of this cycle and embrace what is in front of you, because there is something to embrace here. If you can really embrace that, I don't think you're going to recognize yourself, and I don't think you're going to recognize where you're at, because this is a huge change that I think is going to be taking place for you, but it starts here in this moment. This is a very powerful reading. I'm actually kind of surprised by this, but anyway, I hope that helps, and I hope this brought some clarity, and I hope that you spend your time on your solar return really connecting to who you are in this moment, dreaming of who and where you want to be, and doing everything that you can to make that happen. So, I'll see you next time.